Okay, this is a video for my friends who are using the partial quotients and shows you what to do when you have a remainder. So for everybody else, you have your strategy, but partial quotients is just a little bit different. All right, so say we start off with 43 and 8 tenths divided by 4. All right, we're going to do our estimate, which is 40 divided by 4. So we should get an answer about 10. So now you're going to set up your house and you're going to put 43 and 8 tenths inside and 4 on the outside. And you're going to notice here that there is no decimal in the divisor, which is right there. So we don't need to move the decimal, but we do need to make note of the that there's one number behind the decimal place here, so I'm going to put a 1. And now I'll proceed as normal. All right, so I'm going to use 100 over here, and this would be 400. I'm going to subtract, I get 38. All right, I'm going to use, what am I going to use? I'm going to use 9. So then that's going to be 36. And then I get 2 remaining. All right, you can't have a remainder. So what we're going to do is you're going to draw a really thick line right here. And you're going to add those together, so that's 109. All right, and now we are going to go down and try to get rid of this remainder. So just like with everybody else, in order to get rid of the remainder, we're going to add a 0 right here. And we're going to see how many times 4 goes into 20. Well, we know that one. That's 5. So then I'll do this, and I'll subtract, and this will show that there's no more remainder left. But here's the trick. So you're going to write your answer as 109, because that's what you added. But everything past the black line right here is simply going to just go on as the next digit in the number. So if we had more numbers down here that kept going, we would just keep adding them on. Now remember, we had to move our decimal one place, and the decimal would have been here. We have to move it over 1, so our final answer is 10 and 95 hundredths. Now let's just check it to make sure that that's true. Okay, so I'm going to do 10 and 95 hundredths, that's my answer, times my divisor, which was 4. Remember, we're going to use ELF numbers here, 2. So 20, carry 2, 36, 38, carry 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. And then you have the 4. And we have to move it over 2 places, so we go 1, 2. So it indeed works. So our answer is 10 and 95 hundredths. Okay, so for another example, we're going to go to this page, and my problem is 10 divided by 0.8. All right, now we notice that this number here is less than 1, so that's going to make 10 bigger. So all you have to say for your estimate is your answer is going to be greater than 10 when we get done. All right, now let's set it up. We're going to do our partial quotients. We're going to put 10. Notice here that we do have a decimal in the divisor, so I'm going to move it over 1 to the door. And this 10 doesn't have a decimal, but we need to add 1, and we always add it after the number in the ones place. So I'm going to move it over 1. All right. We don't have any numbers after that decimal, so right now we have 0 as our ELF number. And now we're going to progress as normal. So let's rewrite it. It makes it easier for us to see. I have now 8 on the outside, and on the inside I have 100. So I'm going to go ahead and use 10 right here. And remember, we have a 0 ELF number. Ooh, that's not good. Let's try that again. We have a 0 as our ELF number. Okay, so if I do 10, then this would be 80. I'm going to subtract, and I get 20, and I can take out 2 more 8s to make 16. But now I have a 4. So that means I have a remainder. Remember what we do? We draw a big thick line right here. We go ahead and add these. This is 12. All right, and then now we're going to add a 0 to get rid of this remainder. How many times will 8 go into 40? It's going to go in 5 times. So I'm going to put my 5 here and I'm 40 here. And when I subtract, I don't have any more remaining, so I don't need to keep going. So my answer is 12.5. The line is where the decimal starts. And because right here we have that ELF number of 0, I don't need to move it anymore. So my final answer is this, but we are going to check it. I'm going to erase this part. And I'm going to put in the check. So the check would be, if I did the answer, 12.5 times 0.8, the original. Okay, we get 40, carry 4. Now remember, we're going to put our ELF numbers here. So we have 1 here, and we have 1 here. Okay, we have 8 times 2 is 16 plus 4 is 20, carry 2. And then we have 8 times 1 is 8 plus 2 is 10. So remember, we had an ELF number here and an ELF number here for a total of 2. So I've got to move my thing over 2. So it works. So this is the answer. 12 5/10 is the answer.